What makes someone rise from an ordinary life on the beaches of Sydney to become one of the most recognized fitness icons of a generation? For Callie Burns, the answer isn't just about sculpted abs or perfect routines. It's about a transformation. One that began in the world of dance, discipline, and quiet determination, and evolved into an empire of influence that reaches millions across the globe. Callie's story doesn't fit neatly into the stereotype of a social media success. Before the fame, before the million followers, she was a young woman deeply committed to movement. Graceful yet rigorous, disciplined yet searching for something greater. Dance was her first language, the stage her first home. But as the spotlight dimmed, she found herself drawn to a new stage, the gym floor. It was here, among weights and routines, that she discovered the raw power of reinvention. What few know is that Callie's rise wasn't guaranteed. For every photograph that inspired thousands, there were doubts, sacrifices, and a constant battle with the invisible pressure of online perfection. Followers saw strength. Behind the lens, she wrestled with the same insecurities that haunt anyone daring to put themselves in the public eye. Yet, it was in those fragile moments that something remarkable took shape. Callie began to craft not just a body, but a philosophy. A vision of fitness as empowerment, of discipline as liberation, of strength as beauty. And slowly, the world started to take notice. But the question remains, what really lies behind the polished images and motivational posts? How did a dancer-turned-trainer carve her place in the cutthroat world of fitness influencers? And what secrets has she carried along the way? The answers are not as simple, or as glamorous, as they might appear. Because Callie Burns' journey is more than a story of fame. It's a story of resilience, reinvention, and a fight against the unseen battles that shape every success story. And just when it seemed her star was destined to rise without challenge, an unexpected trial threatened to bring it all crashing down. Every empire is built on both triumphs and trials. For Callie Burns, the glossy images and inspirational captions that captivated millions masked a path riddled with obstacles most never saw. Behind the carefully curated snapshots of strength was a woman learning, often painfully, that visibility comes with a price. As her following grew, so did the expectations. Suddenly, every post was subject to scrutiny, every move dissected by strangers who felt entitled to pass judgment. Compliments were abundant, but so were the criticisms. Accusations of perfection being unattainable, whispers of whether her physique was sustainable, questions about whether her success was built on authenticity or mere aesthetics. Callie faced the same storm many women in the fitness industry endure. Online backlash that can be as cruel as it is relentless. Yet, it wasn't just the external noise she had to confront. There were moments of self-doubt, battles with body image, and the unrelenting pressure to maintain an ideal. For someone who had transitioned from the disciplined yet artistic world of dance to the unforgiving spotlight of social media fitness, the mental toll was profound. But adversity often exposes strength that even its bearer didn't know existed. Rather than retreat, Callie chose to confront the challenges head-on. She began to open up about her journey. Not just the victories, but the struggles that made them meaningful. She spoke about the dangers of comparison, the importance of nourishment beyond aesthetics, and the necessity of self-compassion in a digital world that rarely grants it. Her candidness resonated. Followers who once admired her physique now connected with her humanity. She became more than a fitness model. She became a voice. A mentor. A reminder that even in the age of filters and staged perfection, vulnerability remains the greatest form of strength. Still, the tests didn't stop there. The life of an influencer is one of constant reinvention, and Callie found herself wrestling with another obstacle. How to transform fleeting digital fame into something lasting, something with impact beyond likes and shares. It was at this crossroads, in the face of doubt and digital fatigue, that she made a decision that would define the next phase of her journey. A decision not just to inspire but to build. To create something tangible, something enduring. Because for Callie Burns, resilience wasn't just about surviving the storms of online criticism. It was about turning them into fuel. Fuel that would ignite an empire no one saw coming. Adversity may test a person, but it also forges vision. For Callie Burns, the challenges she endured became the very foundation upon which she built her empire. What began as a personal journey of strength and transformation soon evolved into a global brand that would inspire women and men far beyond the walls of the gym. Callie understood something that many overlooked. Fitness was no longer just about routines and results. It was about community, identity, and empowerment. As followers grew, she resisted the temptation to remain a static figure of aspiration. Instead, she leaned into authenticity, crafting her voice into one that resonated not just with athletes, but with anyone searching for balance in a chaotic world. Her social media became more than a gallery of progress shots. It became a blueprint for a lifestyle. Honest, rigorous, yet human. And with this shift came a transformation. Callie Burns was no longer simply an influencer, she was a leader. But true leaders don't just inspire, they build. Recognizing the fleeting nature of digital fame, Callie began to construct something more permanent. She launched her own activewear line, Tahira, designed not only for performance but as a statement of identity. These weren't just clothes. They were armor for the everyday battles of confidence and self-worth. With each launch, her influence stretched beyond the screen into the real lives of her supporters. Still, she wasn't finished. Knowing that true change requires guidance, she introduced fitness programs that gave her community structure and accountability. Challenges like her Train Like Me series brought together thousands worldwide. United not by perfection, but by effort, discipline, and a shared journey toward growth. And then came the revelation, the pivotal moment that redefined her empire. At the height of her online momentum, Callie unveiled her deepest philosophy. Fitness wasn't about sculpting the body alone. It was about reclaiming power. For the young mother trying to find herself again after pregnancy. For the professional wrestling with burnout. For anyone who had been told they weren't enough. This was the hidden truth behind her empire. That empowerment was the product she had been building all along. The empire grew, but not by chance. Callie Burns mastered the delicate balance of vulnerability and authority, professionalism and relatability. She collaborated with global brands, built partnerships that amplified her voice, and transformed her once singular journey into a movement of resilience, strength, and unapologetic self-love. What made her story even more compelling was the paradox at its core. She was sculpting an empire of strength, while openly admitting her moments of weakness. She was building a global stage, while reminding her followers that the most important victories happen privately, in silence, in the small choices no one sees. Today, her empire is more than followers, more than fabric, more than programs. It is a symbol, a living testament that the human spirit, when disciplined and unafraid of reinvention, can turn even the harshest scrutiny into a legacy of inspiration. And yet, as Callie Burns stood at the peak of her influence, a question lingered. What will her legacy mean to those who come after her? From the dance studios of Sydney to the global stage of fitness, Callie Burns has proven that strength is not simply measured by muscle or endurance, but by resilience, reinvention, and the courage to be vulnerable in a world that demands perfection. Her journey is more than a story of fame. It is a lesson in perseverance, the reminder that every setback can be a stepping stone, every criticism an opportunity to grow stronger. She built more than an empire. She built a movement that redefines beauty, celebrates discipline, and empowers those who follow her path to embrace their own journey without fear. Callie's legacy is not only in the millions who look to her for guidance, but in the quiet transformations of individuals who found strength in her honesty and courage in her example. She stands as proof that one person, armed with authenticity and relentless drive, can reshape the way the world sees fitness, empowerment, and self-worth. And now, the question is yours to answer. What will you build with the strength you already hold? If you were inspired by Callie Burns' story, share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more powerful journeys into the lives of icons who continue to redefine what it means to rise.